this is an industry which has grown leaps and bounds in the last 10 years. We have moved from basic setups, mantaps to destination weddings and whatnot. So my first question to you, sir, would be, what has been the growth cycle like? Where were we, where are we, and where are we going? What do you see as a life cycle for this industry?
Thank you for having me, Mansa. See, weddings even 10 years ago wasn't as big as what we see it to be today. And destination wedding as a concept has picked up big time now. And you must be a better judge at that, because most of the Marwadi families are the ones who look at destination weddings. And essentially my experience here is most families from Calcutta are, the Marwadi families situated in Calcutta are the ones who come to Hyderabad for the destination wedding. In terms of the growth of the market, see, Hyderabad itself has humongously famous and very well-to-do wedding planners who do these large format and large scale weddings. And there is plenty of scope still in Hyderabad for these large format weddings. I am not sure where it's going to go, because recently I was talking to a software company in Hyderabad. They are doing a research on the usage of the original flowers in the field of weddings and social decor.
Okay.
And there is this incentive that the governments are providing in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, especially Andhra Pradesh, where they are incentivizing farmers to get into floriculture in a big way, the greenhouse, stuff. But what we also see over the last 3 to 4 years is the advent of artificial flowers coming into play.
Absolutely.
Into
We can
weddings.
see a lot of it today as well.
Yeah, most of it actually.
Yes.
So the advent of artificial flowers, I don't know if it is good or bad for the industry. From the perspective of a client, he is going to save a lot of money because he is spending maybe half the amount, and yet he is getting the grandeur that he aspires to have for the wedding. But from the perspective of we are also talking of clean and green, talking of recyclable, we're talking of a whole lot of other subjects which are very close to most people today. And I don't know if the advent of artificial flowers or artificial stuff is going to be of any benefit to the world at large. But from a client perspective, I think yes, it has helped the client to experiment a lot, because there are a lot of flowers. Just to name one, we're talking of a hydrangea. So hydrangea is
seasonal,
basically seasonal, and those that come from Bangkok and very expensive. But we are flooded with those in artificial form.
With colors.
And you're able to get the same look, feel, and the texture.
Right.
And any which way, while I do not subscribe to it, the moment you put the lights on to the decor, it doesn't matter what it is. I personally believe you should be able to appreciate a decor without lights.
Oh, okay.
That's the way I look at
the magic
decor. Yes, because the moment you put a light onto anything, you are camouflaging it. You're hiding a lot of. I wouldn't want to put it this way, but a lot of deficiencies are hidden into this, covered into the way you do the lighting.
Absolutely.
Right. The other change that I see in terms of the large format weddings is, of course, we are moving towards some of the guests, some of the families are talking of going more nature oriented in terms of design, which is more a European styling of the way we're talking of jute, we're talking of wood,
natural,
very natural.
It's sort of coming back to where it all
coming
began,
back to basics.
Yeah.
The other thing that I notice is, while the spends are there, we are not looking at those humongous fiber structures where आप उसको वापस कलर डालते जाओ, same gold, and again आप उसको भी छुपाना पड़ता है लाइट के साथ ही. Otherwise you always tell the guest आप सेटअप होने तक मत आओ, because आप देखोगे शादी से उसको डाउट आ जाएगा मैं करूँ या नहीं करूँ. शादी, because that's
शादी
how.
करूं कि नहीं?
Yeah, because उतना भयानक दिखेगा वो. But there again we are moving away. We are moving away from this fiber and these structures, which actually make the venue look full and a lot of large. But I've noticed that large venues even in Hyderabad and a lot of these places are much better off without these structures. These are the changes. One way to look at it is, back to the basics of a good decor.
Right.
The other, of course, I'm worried about the advent of artificial flowers. I'm making money, but I would still not want to see it the way it is going up. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah, please add.
Adding to what Mr. Venkat is saying is, statistically, if you're adding numbers to it, I think the organized industry is almost $20 billion industry as on today.
Right.
And I think it's the only industry people are saying that recession is just ahead. But I think as on today also, wedding industry in particular is growing at the rate of 25 to 35%. So I think this is what I think.
Good for us,
that's
please,
a reason,
yes.
Yeah, a person who was into corporate industry is getting into social market. So we've been targeting the social market from last 5 years, kind of setting up team and mainly getting into the numbers.
Okay, brilliant. I mean, kudos to the industry which is growing, and I think India is a hub of sorts, especially with respect to large scale weddings. I think people look up to us globally. We are known for our weddings, I think. Especially South India, I think.
Even from Calcutta, people are quite surprised to say, I don't know how you guys do a wedding with 3,000, 2,000 people.
Yeah. I think the masses, the crowd numbers are really huge here. Super. Okay. Moving on to the next question, more pertinent to the local market for a lot of people who have come from other cities. What are the licenses and compliances that we need to abide by if we have to do an event in Hyderabad? Wedding/event. I'm talking for both.
In fact, I think it was there in today.
Big day for all of us.
A lot of groups. There's a lot of ambiguity there. A lot of people from Hyderabad know that we've been fighting against the PPLs and the Novex of the world.
Yeah.
I think moving ahead, as IMA, we have got a couple of judgments. Last December also we got a judgment in Delhi High Court. But still there is a lot of ambiguity. That's the reason we are looking at a lot of associations coming together. Yes. At the end of the day, there's a lot of money required to fight against these guys.
Okay.
If you talk about the PPLs of the world, the Novex, and now you have IPRS, now you have another body called ISRA which is coming up. These guys have only money, and if you see the books of accounts, these guys spend almost 30-35% of the money paying the legal charges. We can't afford it. For a single case which IMA had fought with them in Delhi High Court, we spent close to around about 27 to 30 lakhs. So we are tied up in Hyderabad with a lot of people. Probably to name few was FHRA, which is a Federation for Five-Star Hotel Association.
Okay.
We are tying up with other associations to pull in money and get some good lawyers. As a city right now, hotels are been kind of getting some kickbacks, which is very open. Sorry to be very loud.
I think all of us know it, we just don't want to talk
automatically,
about it.
Whatever events are booked, it's been passed on to them. So we come under the detailing of Novex because they have some labels. You have PPL when it comes up to recording. Then you have IPRS when you want to do something live. So then you have ISRA and other bodies which are coming up.
Okay. So I think the judgment is still for us to know today's result. What's your take on it? How legit is it?
I've been interacting with the Novex guy from morning. Okay. So he's been sending me judgments after judgments, which I have passed in a couple of groups.
Yeah.
But still I feel there's a lot of ambiguity.
Yes.
The problem is in the checklist of the wedding, this is one of the points.
Yes.
You really don't want to leave your wedding and spend time on that. So we say better pay it off. So they are taking that advantage.
Okay. Super. For everybody here, if you know of, today there was a new judgment by the Copyrights Law Limited, right? Yeah. So everybody is still debating if it is legit or not. Only time will tell what is going to happen from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, super. So moving on to the next favorite question. It's a personal one. Which has been your favorite venue to do events apart from Hyderabad, of course?
It again depends on the number of people that's going to
Where have you
gather.
enjoyed doing a really big event?
We prefer a lot of outdoor venues.
Okay.
Because you can really work on. When you see four walls, there's a lot of restrictions that get into it.
Right.
A lot of bigger venues have a problem saying that you don't touch my ceilings, you don't touch my walls. Then we need to get into a lot of equipment coming in. So we prefer a lot of, as Venkatana was saying, that we are kind of getting westernized in our thought process. We are ethnic, but we're getting that influence of Western countries. So more of Western culture is getting into weddings also. So a lot of pastels are coming in. So outdoor venue is more preferred, according to me.
Which has been your destination weddings, to be specific? Which country has been your favorite?
Turkey as of today.
Turkey?
Yes.
Yeah. So anything you want to throw a light on, Arun, on things that we need to take care of as the wedding industry fraternity here? If we have to do a wedding in Turkey, what would be your checklist for us?
Mainly catch hold of a good DMC who will help you, destination management company. Instead of just trying to Google it and trying to venture out, which will eventually you end up spending more. So a DMC locally will help, and that is the reason we encourage everybody to join associations, where
Right.
that is the place where you broaden your knowledge, meet a lot of DMCs. I've been talking again about IMA as our conventions. We have a lot of international DMCs who come and participate. We just finished ICWF, where IMA was supporting in Calcutta. You had Sri Lanka tourism was a major part of that particular ICWF. So that this is the places where you understand what all you require in a destination wedding.
Okay, super. Venkatanna. So I've also got the ringo now. Yes. Which has been your favorite destination?
I haven't gone out of India.
Okay. Which has been your favorite wedding that you have conducted, like organized?
I have the one that I did in Bombay.
Okay.
The Renaissance in Bombay, the outdoor venue for Hariharan's son's Sangeet out there, and the reception. The wedding, of course, we did in his farmhouse, which was a huge spread of about 9 acres, which also was serious fun.
Okay.
In terms of Hyderabad, you have a couple of resorts here. One, I believe, is an urban jungle, but the other one is fairly good. There is a resort called Alankrita. I like doing weddings. There's loads of greenery out there,
Yeah.
and I like doing weddings.
He was
I've done
supposed to be
good
here
numbers out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one, Fort Grand, that is also come. I've just recently done, again for Ram Gopal Verma's niece. That's also a nice venue where you can. The whole look and feel is different vis-a-vis what you normally see in other outdoor venues.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I haven't gone out of India. I
Yeah.
don't intend.
No, but you have the advantage of doing celebrity weddings. Give us more
no.
information on that. How is it to deal with a celebrity?
I don't know. It happened.
Ram
No, no.
Gopal Varma.
Ah,
Let's
Ram
just be
Gopal.
specific then.
No. See, I didn't have the bad fortune of dealing with him. So I dealt with his family.
Okay.
A whole lot of them, and they're amazingly wonderful people. I still continue to deal with them. And they are very finicky about the way it needs to be done. And believe you me, we have done 16. I'm doing one in February, the 17th one. Every wedding has just 2 colors.
Has just two
Colors.
colors.
Just 2 colors.
Oh, okay.
One
okay.
lady in the family, one of his sisters, she decides the color, and she sits and spends time at our office, maybe for a month and a half too, and gets the drawing right. We don't work without a drawing. So she gets the drawing right, and then we end up doing the wedding. So that's something which is nice with that family.
Okay.
They spend a lot of time, and then, as I said, just 2 colors throughout. And
Amazing.
different times, different colors. Beautifully
Yeah?
explained.
Okay.
Hariharan, I mean, it wasn't that it was a celebrity wedding from your perspective, but he's a very dear friend of mine. Hari and Shankar Mahadev and Shiva, Shan, Abhijit, they're all very old friends of mine. So they had no option. He had to give it to me. He couldn't have gone elsewhere and done anything. So
Nice.
as a friend, I've gone and done
Okay, okay, okay. He's an artist manager too. Yeah, now. Yeah, okay, super. Okay. Next, another question. My favorite is in your experience of 20 plus years, which is your biggest lesson learned?
No, as I think prior to commencement of this evening, we were discussing this. I have been lucky in most cases.
Okay.
As I said, on a total number of about 250 odd weddings that I have done over the last many years, I have had issues with only 2 clients, not in terms of the quality of decor that I delivered, but only in terms of the balance of the monies that they needed to pay. In one case, I mean, it's just seriously peculiar. I got hooked to that family also because I believe in Sai Baba of Shildi. So I am a great bhakt, so I used to see that on my finger. So that family was also into big time Baba Bhakt and all that. So I got conned into it.
Okay.
So I said, okay, देना ही देना ना, अगर बाबा के
कहाँ जाएंगे?
कहाँ जाएंगे? And then we did the decor and at a 5-star property. And suddenly I realized nobody's talking to me, nobody's talking of the monies, and I'm following up.
Okay.
And after a while, I switch off the lights of the mandap and the venue, and then they use the camera guys' lights to continue doing the
What are you saying?
function. And then I speak to the general manager of the property, and I say I'm going to plug out the camera
Generator.
guys' lights as
Yeah,
well.
okay.
And once I plugged that out, then they started throwing their weight around. I know the Director General of Police, and in one call I can do a lot of things. I said, please call him and tell him that you're not paying me and you're trying to do this to get the wedding going. And that was one bad experience. They paid up, of course, but it was something that I wouldn't want to do.
Do it.
Hold up to the extent, but then somebody takes you there, I think makes me feel very bad. The other one was at a resort where the groom's family was from Switzerland, the bride was from Hyderabad, and the same thing. The bride's family, I mean, everything was official by mail, and I'm talking of the payments having to come in. I talked to the brother. He says, "Ab kar raha hu, tab kar raha hu," and then finally raises his hand saying, "Paisa nahi hai abhi." So I said, "Fir aapka ruk jayega." So he speaks to the groom's father, who's an IIT, IIM alumni, but settled there, and he believes he's a very powerful guy. He just calls me. He says, "I believe you said you will stop this wedding." I said, "Yes, I said I'll do it." "And why?" I said, "Payments." "Oh, you didn't get the payment?" He didn't know.
Okay.
They just told him that I'm going to stop the wedding. So I said, "No, I need to get a fair amount of money that still due from them." He says, "Would you trust me? Give me 20 minutes, I'll pay you money. Don't stop this wedding." These are the 2 instances where I had a problem with.
Definitely extremely lucky in that
I know,
case.
as I said, it's a 2-way
Yes, absolutely.
activity. If you are committing certain things, and if you're, as I told you, in Hyderabad we talk of this 19-20.
19-20.
Chalega, we do a little here and there, we compromise. And in Bombay it's Jugaad.
Yeah.
So for me, we work on a drawing, we render the images at the venue in which the event is going to take place. Once the confirmation happens, we create a booklet which is shared with the client at least 2 months ahead of time. The whole family is living every single area of the decor that we have committed, and we ensure, this is something I'm very proud of, we ensure we give mirror images of every single drawing that we offer to the client. Therefore, you're not supposed to be having any issues.
So
You will not.
you're saying that first of all we need to do our best.
Absolutely.
No
Not best.
leave no.
You need to stay with your commitment.
Yeah,
You need
and
to be clear
make
about
it
what
process
you're doing.
oriented.
Correct.
Make sure we are
Correct.
communicating every little
Correct.
thing,
Correct.
and then from our side, when we are 100%, there's nothing to
Correct.
stop us. Okay.
You won't have an issue. More often than not, you won't.
Okay.
Unless you goof up yourself. You're not giving it the way you have committed to the
Committed.
client. So that's the issue. Otherwise, I don't see any major issue.
Okay. Okay.
We have some contracts in place
Okay.
with the clients, adding to Venkatana, probably getting into a proper booklet with the drawings, the drapes,
Okay.
the kind of flowers used with a 3D perspective of
The
the
entire
venue.
setup.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have any ambiguity after that. Otherwise, half of the problems start because perceptions are different.
Right.
You know, everybody perceives in a different way. And absolutely, it's the same with the event. So we get into a complete. We do very selective weddings. We do around about 5 to 6 weddings. But I do work with a lot of event managers from Bombay, Delhi. I work with E-Factor, to name few. So we've been working with E-Factor. We've executed Chandrababu Naidu's grandson's birthday here. But we get into, after knowing Summit, but still we get into contracts.
Right, right.
So we understand what is, because once they come in, they start with having a go down space, then they get into adding material. So ultimately what you spoke initially and the additions are almost twice the same.
Twice, yeah.
You know, if you have a 10 lakhs contract, the additional will be 20 lakhs.
Right.
So no, that takes a long time. So it's always nice to understand, get into detail. More than that, the person who's planning the whole wedding, sit with him to understand the detailing is more important.
Attention to details and process oriented. However close the person is to you, make sure it's all on paper is what
For some reason, I see a lot of people still don't get into contracts.
Right.
You know, you have to get into, please sign the dotted lines, make the client sign the dotted line, then automatically things fall in place. They know they have to pay.
Correct.
So,
correct.
like the way a hotel does a contract.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And everybody is okay with it.
Absolutely.
Right? When the hotel asks you, you're okay to sign
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Otherwise-
You don't read that 20 pages what they give.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, the same goes with us. So we have contracts which ultimately they say that you're giving me a home loan. I said, yeah, you have to sign because we're executing an event on trust.
And also, I think it makes us come across very professional and sorted. Like it
Absolutely.
just looks like
I
a
agree.
corporate.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. Okay, super. Okay, so next one is addressing the elephant in the room. We have been seeing a lot of environmental changes and a lot of things going the wrong way. The wastage, the plastic, the alarming climatic conditions, and somewhere as one of the biggest industries of the world, wedding industry, event industry for that matter, we are responsible as well. Somewhere, the flexes to the plastic to things like that. So how do you think as wedding planners or from the event fraternity, what is our take on green weddings, green events? How do you think we should go about it?
We've just done a doctor's conference for Rainbow Hospital in Hyderabad. The complete concept was go green. We've not used a single flex. We've not used a sunboard. Even the water bottles at the hotels were not used. We did glass bottles on the tables. We did a complete vertical wall that was a branding, a green vertical wall with the branding of the conference. At the end of the conference, everybody carried a plant with a handmade paper bag, and we gave pouches of seeds. The paper for the registration detailing was also printed on a seed paper. So we got into minute detailing to make it more green. We used a lot of cloth in the conference. Jute bags were given as a registration kit. So I think that's a way forward.
Okay. How easy are these around to execute green events?
Right now it's becoming quite comfortable. You have a lot of vendors who are getting into it because a lot of clients are asking for it.
Okay. So what's your take on green weddings?
My belief is not just the weddings, in terms of the events overall, the client mindset has to change for you to change yourself.
Right.
Because more often than not, most of the events or the weddings are cost based. There is a cost factor that is involved, and the moment you're talking of clean and all that, there is a escalation of costs. Most clients are not willing to get into that. So you could go forward and push the concept or push the envelope to an extent. But where, like this hospital, Rainbow was an exception, and there are some people who are getting into it. Yes, jute is as a concept, and paper bags and those kind of elements are picking up big time. At least in Hyderabad, I've seen a lot of them. But as I said, it has to be a two-way thought, where the client also has to have that thought. Okay, I will need to do this more green, because the flex is not your concept. Flex is a client concept. Okay, so you're talking of going digital, where you don't print any flex.
Yes.
Just show put it all on the digital medium. But then there's a cost factor that is hugely different.
But we need to start somewhere.
We are. I mean, I'm not saying we're not, but it is convenient for most of us not to talk about it because I'm comfortable getting
Comfortable
my monies
with
in
it,
place,
yeah.
and it is not true for me, or I don't really go push beyond a point because I would want to respect the client and what he wants me to do.
Okay.
And if we are going to take a serious view of this and say, no, I'm not going to do unless thing, so I'll need to get into a recession mode. So that's the way it works. It's both ways. I think both of us have to get conscious of.
Right. And being aware maybe of how much plastic is going into the wedding and trying and give them options perhaps might help.
Yeah, the
right?
basic thing we're talking of in terms of return gifts.
Yeah.
A lot of it is now gone green.
Green.
A lot of it in the return gift.
It's a
format.
good start there.
It's a good
I think.
start.
Yeah.
And then there is this concept of most families now trying to say, I don't want to waste those flowers. 3 hours later, it's dumb.
Correct.
But then the alternative is not very attractive either. Artificial is not an environmental friendly thing, except that you recycle.
Debatable
most of the
again,
time.
yeah.
You
It has
reuse it
its
3 to
own-
4, 5 times. But at some point you're going to junk it, and that junk is not good for the environment. So you're in the devil and deep blue sea situation at this point. I don't know how we go forward.
Okay.
And basically I believe the mindset has to change to a large extent.
Super. Yes, wastage.
Food is a major issue, the wastage of food. So Hyderabad has got an association called the Robin Hood Army.
Yes,
So
I
they
think it's
connect
there in
with
Bangalore as well, yeah.
So they connect with people, the wedding planners, the halls, convention areas, and they try to pick up the food and leftover food. Yeah.
Excess
Yeah.
food. Yeah. Okay. At this point, I would want to open the room for people to ask questions. Anybody has any questions for the esteemed guests? Where? Please come forward. We can't see you. There's a lot of light. Okay. Can we give the mic to him, please? Do we have a mic? Yeah, please ask, yeah.
So my question is regarding the green initiative that we've been talking about. So are you aware of any hotels that actively help you in executing a green wedding? Say for example, most of the time when you serve water, right, it's given in plastic bottles. So do the venues or any 5-star properties or groups like ITC or maybe Taj help you in the sense of to minimize the cost in terms of serving water in glass bottles? Because it doesn't really have to be mineral water, right? They can just serve RO water like the tap water.
We did this event in Hayat, and they were very cooperative in doing that. And I think from the initial stages, before you sign the contract with them, which is very essential, please put in all your terms and conditions what you require. At that point of time, they agree, because you'll be dealing with the sales guy initially, then later will be the F&B guys who come into picture, so they don't know what you spoke to the sales guys. So put everything in the contract. These guys are quite educated, the F&B, especially from the level of the F&B managers and above. They're quite educated, they understand. So they'll be more than happy to do it.
So sir, a follow-up question to that. Was it cheaper compared to serving water in bottles?
We didn't get into costing, but the whole concept was to go green. As it was a doctor's conference, so the concept was to go green, and we didn't want it to use any plastic there. That was the suggestion given to the hotel, which they have taken it forward.
So I have one last question to both of you, Venkat sir and Arun sir. So you mentioned some of the bad experiences with clients, and I think we all have that bad experiences. So from after learning from that, have you guys changed your payment mode? Like, do you take all payment in advance?
See, in terms of weddings, I mean, we've got a norm more or less. 80% of the money is coming before the wedding itself. The 20% from my side, I mean, when I talk about the balance of the 20%, it's clearly written out to the client that the moment I am done with the decor and before they start their ceremonies, they can compare the drawings that I've given them, and if it is similar to what I have committed, they will need to pay the balance 20%, so I move on. And it has worked.
But still, a lot of clients get away with that because our industry is very unorganized, right? So there are vendors who are ready to take payments even after the event. So
See, that is the comfort level that you have. Like for instance, I'm talking of a Ram Gopal Verma family. I don't ask them for the monies at all. It comes automatically. They send it home. Somebody or the other comes home to deliver the money. It is not something that I follow up in terms of कि भाई आपका बाकी 20% पड़ा हुआ है, आप मुझे दे दीजिए. I don't have to. Quite a few clients. See, this is, I was telling Mansa this, wedding business is like your MLM, multi-level marketing. If you've done your job well and if you've delivered to the commitment that you've made, one wedding gives you 4 more, 4 gives you 16, 16 gives you 64. It's a multi-level marketing business. So then you get to know a client and you retain that client. I have clients who are nearly 18, 19 years old in terms of my relationship with them. So once I develop a sense of comfort and sense of relationship, then monies don't play a big role in terms of whether I need to stand there and collect the monies. Every time I do an event, the first time or the second time, I'm fairly particular that the monies need to come in upfront. Otherwise, I wait.
thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, yes. Venkatanna has not been keeping well. He had a terrible back pain and he just wanted to keep up the commitment, and he's here just to make sure he kept his commitment. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please.
Thank you, everyone. You must excuse me. I haven't been able to stand through the day. I've managed to somehow take painkillers and come here. I will take your leave and apologize for not being around. Thank you so much.